Do you think a lie could be perpetuated for so long that it becomes a truth? Well, I guess that's the timing that Bringus is on, because this guy is a complete and utter fraud, and there's no two ways about it. Hey guys, Shrife here, back again with another video. If you don't know, Father Bringus is a complete fraud, and he's getting exposed today by yours truly. The reason why is simple. This guy has a lot going on with him. He doesn't play fair, and everybody knows that. Everybody's been complaining about him because he's totally a shitty AI. It isn't just because you guys just suck at the game and don't know how to perfect dodge, but that's besides the point. This guy claims that he's a champion, the absolute former strongest, who was able to rise to the top and become completely untouchable. That's what his cutscene says. I'm going to say right now that I don't think at the very least that's entirely true. And in fact, I'll go as far to say that it's a complete fabrication, because this guy is a delusional alcoholic. He's a bug abusing, doping, ass, backdash merchant who knows nothing but to use the grimiest tactics to even stand a chance against the top of the top. And even I'd go as far to say this guy wouldn't exceed like maybe World Champ 1 in ranked. It's that pathetic, really. And yeah, that's basically all there is to it. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and join the Discord down below. And of course, massive shout out to the 4 members of the Trife channel: Simon, Arlaws, Probably Dark, and Mercenary. Exhibit A. Bug abusing. If you don't know what I'm referring to, do you guys remember the carry-on tech that I talked about a few videos ago? Well, Father Bringus is probably the most gross abuser of this tactic in the entire game, including all the players that play this game. He is a master of the carry-on tech, and he abuses it in a very slick way, but in a very obvious way that indicates that he's very much bug abusing. What I mean by this is very simple. In 7 seconds video, he uses the carry-on tech around 1 or 2 times, which isn't too bad. Now, if we looked at that video alone, we consider the possibility that he's doing it accidentally. On the other hand, he's fought like 100,000 people separately at least, and against me alone over like 5 separate matches, he abuses the carry-on tech at least like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yada yada yada. Like, you know what I mean, you know where I'm going with this. This fucking dumbass abuses a well-known bug that would get him disqualified in any competitive scene almost immediately. And how he fights us now is how he fought people back when he was an active boxer at his prime, playing in tournaments, becoming a champion, which makes me question the legitimacy of him actually being a champion in the first place, because if he played how he did back in the day, he would get disqualified almost immediately as a result of bug abuse, and that's a known fact. The only reasonable explanation I can think of for this discrepancy is that he actually did get caught out for cheating back in the day and became a fraud, or known as a fraud, and as a result he lost everything that he held near and dear to him. It wasn't because he was the strongest and couldn't find anyone as strong as him, it's just because he sucked and he cheated and he played like a street fighter more than a boxer, which we can see today. But that doesn't even compare to the next point and the type of bullshit he pulls in regards to his pure strength and his durability. Exhibit B. Doping. I think you guys get what I mean by doping. This guy has double the health of the average player while also doing way more damage for no reason, taking less self damage on his M2s and also taking less percentage damage from his ultimate, which is a whole separate issue. That doesn't make sense. Personally, I don't know how he's doing this. I don't know if he's directly changing the code or if he's high on Peruvian, but regardless, this guy is really suspicious in how he's able to output so much damage. And by suspicious, I mean he's very obviously cheating somehow. For reference, here's the amount of damage we do with an Iron Fist M2. Now look at the damage he does with an Iron Fist M2. Yeah, so I don't know how this is okay. If this is the damage he was doing back in his prime, and possibly more, either this was once a Dragon Ball game, or he's doping out of his mind, and there's no other explanation for it. But you know what? There could be an argument to be made that this guy is really just built different, even though that isn't physically possible, that isn't something you can do. Everyone's built the exact same in this game, they're coded in the exact same way, but hey, he might be the exception. He just might be him. After all, he's apparently the strongest, but doesn't matter matter because this next point is irrefutable. In other words, Father Bringus is cooked. Exhibit C. Playstyle. What this is basically referring to is the fact that Father Bringus, despite the fact he is a self-proclaimed champion and the strongest player in the game, plays like a gold player, doesn't know how to be aggressive whatsoever. The instant you try to be offensive against him whatsoever, he starts PD fishing and backdashing like crazy, with some people comparing it to the Trife method, which is a playstyle I used to have like a few months ago. And I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, this isn't just a Trife method, this is just being an absolute bitch and just sucking at the game, because the fact that he PD fishes also kind of sucks at PDing in a sense. It's kind of crazy. He backdashes more than he PDs, and when he tries to PD, he often just misses his dashes, but due to the fact that he does so much damage and he has so much health, he has a lot more room for error. If he had the same health and damage as us, he'd be getting 3-0'd by silver players, and I'm not even joking. I say this as the #1 Australian player in comp in the entire Boxing Association. I'll put proof up here that how he plays is not the way you get good within the competitive scene. Saving the fact that passive play is completely banned entirely, or at least extreme passive play is banned in the way Bringus plays. If Bringus does try to play the backdashing playstyle he uses, he's not going to be able to do any damage. He's going to run out of pressure very easily, and he'll get overwhelmed by someone who knows how to PD his really slow Iron Fist M1, since he clearly mains Iron Fist. At least on paper, if he didn't have the buff stats he has right now, he will not be able to beat a diamond player, let alone become #1 in the entire world. Even with his stats, he wouldn't be able to break like the top 10 in any region whatsoever. Hell, I doubt he'd even be able to beat like any rookies in any of the regions that we have, because at least they're somewhat decent and know how to perfect dodge without PD fishing. Bringus can't do that. He generally just sucks at the game. He abuses the Diddy tech so much, which if you didn't know is also the carry-on tech. For some reason 7second calls it the Diddy tech, and he uses it so much in his playstyle and completely relies on it, but I feel like he actually diddles kids. He likes to diddle with the game's code to receive an unfair advantage within a competitive match. That is definitely what I was talking about. But yeah, overall, this guy needs to be looked into. I feel like Drowning himself needs to intervene with the bullshit this guy is spouting, because clearly, at least part of what Bringus preaches is completely and utterly false, especially the fact that apparently he's a champion, because that is not possible in any capacity according to what we've discussed here. And yeah, there's really not much else to say. If you guys agree with what I'm saying, make sure to put down #CancelBringus in the comments down below. In every single comment section you see relating to entire boxing game, make sure to do that in 7second's latest videos. Make sure to do it everywhere. Spread the word. We're cancelling Bringus. His career is over. He's never beating the alligator.